All right, let's take a look at this problem number 4. The period of sine or cosine is always 2 pi divided by the coefficient in front of x. In this case, 2 pi divided by 1 is 2 pi. So there is no horizontal shrink or horizontal stretch for this new graph in comparison to the cosine of x. The amplitude is always the multiplier that's in front of the sine or cosine, and in this case it's 1. These are both distances, they're always going to be positive. The center line is the line, it's always going to be y equals, and it's whatever that you're shifting this up or down, and it's whatever you're adding to this function. In this case, we're not lifting this graph up or down, so it's y equals 0. So the plus 2 had an effect that it shifted this graph to the left pi over 2 units. By shifting it to the left, it could possibly be changing where its max and mins and where it crosses the x-axis. So, or excuse me, the center line, which in this case is the x-axis. So we know that if we replace x plus pi over 2 with pi over 2, that we know from the graph that the cosine of pi over 2 is 0. If we solve this for x, x is 0. That's our first one on this list between 0 and 2 pi. If we replace x plus pi over 2 with 3 pi over 2, you'll be on the center line, because the cosine of 3 pi over 2 is 0. If we subtract pi over 2 from both sides, we get pi. If we want to stop by 2 pi, so if we add another pi, it's too much. We're at 2 pi, and we wanted to stop before we get to 2 pi, because that's not a bracket. All right, so to write this in general, if we were to look at it on more than the interval from 0 to 2 pi, if we were to look at it over its entire domain, there's infinitely many times that this graph crosses its center line. We can't list them all, but we can describe it as simply 0 plus half of the period there, pi times n. All right, because look at the distance between 0 and pi, it's pi, and that's always going to be the distance. It's always going to be pi units until the next time that you or cross the center line. Hope that helps, and I'll talk to you later.